You don't want to miss this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View as I talk with Dave Heimbuch, who's the founder of Helpful Heroes. Not only does this one hit close to home, but Dave already has a fantastic platform that's backed by the Belfor Franchise Group to provide support and ensure that franchise owners are successful. So sit back, watch for 15 minutes, and make sure to leave a comment, subscribe, and like the video. Enjoy. Dave, thank you for joining me today on the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me, Lucas. It's a pleasure to be here as well.
Yeah. And so, man, tell me what the impetus was to get you started with Helpful Heroes, because what a fantastic
Yeah.
concept, being a fire chief myself.
Yeah. Thanks, Lucas. I appreciate that. And I don't have a firefighting background, surprisingly. It was about 10 years ago, about 9 years ago, actually, that I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law, who is a firefighter. He's a chief, actually, in the Cincinnati area. And I was telling him about some home projects I was doing. I used this cool new app called Thumbtack, and I got a contractor over, and I was able to just find them, pay for it, and do everything all within this app. And I was telling him about this, and he's like, "Oh, that's really cool. I should look into that. I do things on the side as well." And then he explains to me how almost all firefighters have a side hustle. We're always looking for things to do outside of the station to make a little extra money. And he said our schedules are very conducive to it. We work 24 on. We've got 48 off. It's a perfect situation for us as firefighters to make a little extra on our off duty days. And it got me thinking, well, heck, if I knew firefighters were doing the same thing that I had this contractor on Thumbtack do, I would have rather had a firefighter come to my house. And not only for me, it's not as much of the safety concern as it would be maybe for a stay-at-home mom, single woman, elderly women, things like that. But it was for me just that feeling of giving back, right, to a firefighter and somebody who not only trust but also revere in some ways. So that's kind of the light bulb moment, Lucas, where it's like, this doesn't exist. I would have used it. I think that other people would be likely to use it if we had it. So I thought, why not build a platform, build a Thumbtack, build an Angie's List, build a TaskRabbit that is exclusively for off-duty firefighters to connect them with homeowners who need handyman work.
Man, that's fantastic. And I saw that you had an appearance on Shark Tank. What did you learn from that experience? What did you take
Oh my
away from
gosh,
it?
that was intense. I tell you what. I learned a ton from it. I think the biggest thing that I learned from being on Shark Tank, going on Shark Tank, and having a successful outcome on Shark Tank is that you can almost do anything, right? When you're growing up, you hear this people tell you, "Hey, just put your mind to it. You can do anything," right? That kind of stuff, and you're like, "Hey, that sounds great," but I put my mind to a lot of things and I've failed. But I don't know. It was just one of those situations where, and it didn't come like right away, right? I had to put a lot of sweat and tears into building the platform, building the business, scaling the business, and those types of things before I ever heard from Shark Tank. But really, again, it was just one of those things where if I can do that, there's not much that I feel like I can't do, and it just gave me all the confidence in the world to scale this business.
Yeah, yeah. And you talked about firefighters, but who specifically are you looking for as franchise owners? If firefighters are the actual delivering
Mm-hmm.
the service, who are you looking
Yeah.
for as an owner?
So we have it split. It's about 50-50 right now, where we do have some owners that are firefighters, and this is a perfect opportunity for them to kind of build this into their community. You utilize other of the other firefighters, their brothers, to do the work, and they can do some work too. So we do have firefighter owners, and then we also have what we would call an impact owner, or someone who's kind of like me, not a firefighter, but does have it in his heart to give back, his or her heart to give back to their community and help those who help others. So it is kind of the combination of, or one or the other, of the firefighter and the impact owner right now, who owns our franchises.
Fantastic. And how many units do you have currently?
We have six currently.
You have six.
Yeah, six now. Yeah, we just started this year. So actually, we tested one at the end of last year, and then it wasn't until later in Q1 this year where we said, okay, this is looking good. Let's go ahead and let's expand this. Let's start doing some marketing. Let's start creating, awareness and letting people know that this is available for purchase. It's happening quickly. So we're in Arizona, we're in Florida, we're in Ohio, we're in Pennsylvania, we're in Tennessee, Mississippi, North Carolina. So we're in a lot of different states already. I know I named seven, but one of the territories covers two states. The Memphis, Tennessee area also covers Mississippi. It's happening quickly. Six doesn't sound like a lot, but six in a month or two is pretty quick.
Yeah. And what are you looking for as far as the end of 2026? Where would you like to be?
I'd like to be anywhere between 25 and 50. I think that 25 would be kind of the low end of what we're expecting. 50 is probably going to be the high end. And then I think by the end of next year, 2027, we want to be at 100.
And how does Belfor, because that's quick growth for an emerging
Mhm.
brand. How
Yeah,
does Belfor support you with that? Because a lot of emerging brands don't have the Belfor support to be able to make
yeah.
sure that franchisees are successful.
It's huge. It's such an important factor for our success and our growth to be backed by Belfor and the Belfor Franchise Group. Gives us an opportunity to scale this the right way, because I'm sitting in an office here with 15 other brands, right, and brand presidents who have been through this before, and it gives me an opportunity to lean on them for advice. The framework is there, the structure is there, the system's in place. And now for me, it's just a matter of following that system and passing it down to the franchise owners. It's incredible to have the backing, not only financially, but from a support structure as well, because there's otherwise I'd be doing all the marketing, I'd be doing the accounting, I would be doing all of these, the legal part of it and all these different things. But we have a legal team, we have an accounting team, we have a marketing team, we have all that in the background, and it makes my life much easier, and it just makes it more seamless for those franchise owners who are buying into the system. They're already buying into a proven system, even though we are new.
Yeah. And specifically, what kind of support would a new franchise owner expect from Belfor?
Yeah. So, I mean, we will the first couple weeks. So once you sign to become a Helpful Heroes franchise owner, we go through a couple of weeks, and we call that our jumpstart process. And that's really the foundation that's built during that time. So we're helping you, if you don't have one yet, especially for firefighters, create an LLC, create a DBA, help you get your insurance set up the right way, help you get your business checking account and getting all this connected. So that's kind of the foundational piece of it. And that's all supported by Belfor and our Jumpstart program. Then at the beginning, when we actually launch, we'll have people that will help you set up your Google business profile from our marketing department. We'll have them help you we'll build you a website. So we'll have somewhere to send all the traffic from your Google business profile. We'll help you with PPC marketing, display advertising across Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor. We'll get you set up with a QuickBooks account. We'll get you set up on an automated workflow so that when you do a job, we'll automatically send out mail to the 10 nearest households, and we'll send out a review and a text and a phone call to the customer so you get a review. Because once you get 5-star reviews on your Google business profile, you start, going up in the ranking. So the system's all in place, and it's all automated and turnkey. But all of that support is from the jumpstart of just building the foundation into actually scaling and growing the business.
Yeah. And as a franchise owner, explain a little bit how they find the firefighters to provide the services. How does that work? Because that's the key.
I think that, yeah, that's the key. And it's actually one of the biggest selling points that we have is we already have 10,000 firefighters on the platform, right? So across all 50 states. And this is part of the Shark Tank ripple effect back in 2021 when we were on the show. My biggest concern was that, oh my gosh, we're going to be alive. I mean, people in all 50 states are going to want to submit jobs now to get a firefighter to come to their house and hang a ceiling fan, but we've only got like 500 firefighters right now in a couple of different states. Um, I was fortunate to work with and be introduced to the president of the International Association of Firefighters. And we worked out a deal with them where they would help us recruit firefighters and we would give them back a percentage of our revenue to their charitable foundation. So when that partnership happened, we scaled to quickly scaled to about 7,500, 8,000 firefighters. And then since then, we've added a couple thousand more just organically. But yeah, imagine buying into a franchise where we tell you you don't have to hire anybody. And we've already got like 50 to 100 guys that are ready and available and signed up to work. You're buying into a system where you don't have to hire somebody, pay them full-time health benefits and things like that. You don't have to buy a truck because all these firefighters have their own trucks already. You don't need a physical location because it's all kind of happening digitally, right? Through the app, through the technology and dispatching and them doing the job. So yeah, the workplace is already set and ready to go. You just need to start finding them some jobs.
Outstanding. And in this growth phase, what's the biggest thing that you're learning as you're going along?
Well, probably the biggest thing that I'm learning is the legal aspect of it and the things that I can and can't say. Learning about validation, learning about the FDD and what we put, item 9, item 15, all of the things that go along with building, I guess, the foundation of a franchisable business, if that's a word, franchisable business. Yeah, I mean, it's like that. That's what I've learned the most because my background's in marketing. I understand that completely. I can kind of understand the finance and accounting part of it as well. But when I started learning and digging into all the legal aspects of starting your own franchise business, that's where my learning curve has I guess gone up the most. It's been the hardest part for me. But again, having Belfor and their legal team to support me has been huge.
Yeah. And what do the territories look like? Are they exclusive? How big are they? All that kind of thing for a franchise owner.
Yeah, they're definitely exclusive. And again, we're at 6 now. And so we've got a lot of room to grow. But yeah, they're exclusive territories. We're looking at populations of up to 300,000 people. So that'll give you a really big pool to start with. And again, if you look at, any major city, we're going to have firefighters there. Any major city, you're going to be buying into something where they've probably maybe heard of us. I shouldn't say probably, but there's a good chance that they could have heard of us through Shark Tank, through being on local news and different things like that. But yeah, so that's what I think.
Outstanding. And how are you utilizing Mr. Yellen's TV show to help you as well?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that Sheldon Yellen, our CEO, has been an integral part of, not only the fact that he's got a bigger heart for firefighters than anybody I know, he's got a show on ABC every Saturday called Hearts of Heroes. Now, we've never been integrated into that actual show, but Sheldon did a 30 and a 60-second commercial for us. So it's basically Sheldon talking about Helpful Heroes and how he's helped, kind of build it and grow it and scale it. And yeah, 30 to 60-second commercial with Sheldon on it is incredible because anybody that buys a franchise, then I'm going to go ahead and run that commercial in your territory and make sure it with connected TV right now, it's so easy to do. And to have Sheldon and his, I guess, popularity and his brand that he's built up over several years with Belfor and the Belfor Franchise Group, to have him speak on behalf of Helpful Heroes, it's been incredible. So yeah, with connected television, taking that 30 or 60-second spot and putting it in a specific zip code is as easy as clicking some stuff on your computer right now. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. And when somebody contacts you that has interest or somebody is introduced through a broker to you, what does that due diligence process look like? And how long does it typically take for someone from the first call till they're signing the agreement?
Yeah, and it's I think we're a little bit different, and probably a lot of that has to do with the fact that we are young, and as a brand president and with only 6 territories right now, I'm still very involved. But I think once we get to that 100 territories, I may not be as involved in this the beginning process of it. But I'll jump on a call right away with any potential candidate, and the first thing that I want to do is just learn more about them, their background, what their goals are, why they would be interested in buying this business, why they would be interested in running and scaling, and who they're helping. Just get an idea of that person and what their goals are and just what they're all about and what drives them, right? So that's the first thing that I look for when I'm kind of going through the candidate identification process. There are the things, of course, like from a fund standpoint, we do the background checks, we do the credit checks, we do all of the other things that are typically necessary when bringing on a new franchise owner. But to me, the most important part is the personality and what drives them.
Yeah. And what kind of time frame can somebody expect going through the process?
The fastest we've done it was 18 days. So one of our franchise owners, the first conversation we had with them was in April, at beginning of April, and we closed. I think it was April 12th to April 30th, in terms of getting them from receiving the FDD, receiving the franchise agreement, having to wait those periods that you have to wait legally before they can actually sign off on them. So it could be super quick, but that said, it can also take a couple months, right? So it really just depends on that individual and kind of like how quickly they want to move. But I would say on average, you're looking at about 6 weeks from beginning to end, if that's something that you're interested in moving that quickly.
Outstanding. What haven't I asked you that I should?
Oh my gosh. I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things I've been asked before. It's all good. I think one of the most important things to know about buying into this franchise is you are getting the founder of the company as the president of the brand and as the leader of all of the franchise locations that we're selling out there. I have a very large passion for firefighters, and not only firefighters, but just helping those who help others. It just I don't know. It's what gets me up in the morning. So knowing that you're buying a franchise where you have somebody who started this company and not only started it, but understands it from head to toe, and has gets up every morning wanting to do something bigger than the actual business itself. It's what the business represents and who they help or who we're helping. That's what matters most. So,
Dave, I certainly appreciate you being on with me today and having this conversation.
It's been a pleasure, Lucas. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. Down in the comments, I'll put in Dave's email and website, and we'll put in all the information to be able to contact him. You can also contact me and have a conversation about it beforehand. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you found this interesting. Dave, have a great week.
You too, Lucas. Thank you.